Fourth. One hello, everyone. Welcome back to C News. My name is Smiley. As you watch, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. The British monarchy, an institution steeped in centuries of tradition, has faced numerous challenges and transformations throughout its history. One of the most contentious debates in recent times centers around Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, and the question of whether they should be stripped of their royal titles. This debate was notably highlighted in a heated exchange between historian Dr. Tessa Dunlop and royal biographer Tom Bower on Good Morning Britain. Bower argues that the Sussexes' public criticism of the monarchy and their commercial ventures render their titles untenable, while Dunlop contends that revoking their titles would be unnecessarily punitive and damaging. In this analysis, we will delve into the history of royal title bestowal and revocation, examine the Sussexes' journey post-royal duties, and explore the broader implications of this debate for the monarchy in a rapidly changing world. Royal titles have long been symbols of honor, duty, and lineage within the British aristocracy. Historically, these titles were granted to signify nobility, land ownership, and service to the crown. Over time, the conferral and revocation of titles have evolved, reflecting the changing dynamics of the monarchy and its relationship with society. The British monarchy has, on rare occasions, revoked royal titles. A significant example is the Titles Deprivation Act of 1917, enacted during World War I, which stripped titles from royals who sided with enemy nations. This act targeted individuals such as the Duke of Albany and the Duke of Cumberland, who supported Germany during the war. More recently, in 2022, Prince Andrew was stripped of his honorary military roles and ceased using his HRH title amid legal controversies. In January 2020, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle announced their decision to step back from their roles as senior members of the royal family. This unprecedented move, often referred to as Megxit, was driven by their desire for financial independence and a life away from intense media scrutiny. The couple expressed intentions to balance their time between the United Kingdom and North America, while continuing to honor their duties to the Queen and their patronages. Fourth. 2. The announcement elicited mixed reactions from the public and the royal family. Subsequent negotiations led to an agreement outlining that the Sussexes would no longer receive public funds, would not use their HRH titles, and would repay expenses for the refurbishment of Frogmore Cottage. Despite stepping back, they retained their Duke and Duchess of Sussex titles, a decision that has since been a focal point of ongoing debates. Post-departure, Harry and Meghan have engaged in various media projects, including interviews, a Netflix documentary series, and Prince Harry's memoir, Spare. These endeavors have included candid discussions about their experiences within the royal family, addressing topics such as mental health struggles, perceived lack of support, and allegations of racism. While supporters commend their openness, critics argue that these public disclosures undermine the dignity of the monarchy. In their pursuit of financial independence, the Sussexes have secured deals with companies like Netflix and Spotify, producing content that aligns with their personal values and advocacies. These commercial ventures have further fueled debates about the appropriateness of retaining royal titles while engaging in profit-driven activities, a departure from traditional royal protocols. Royal biographer Tom Bower asserts that the Sussexes' actions, particularly their public criticisms and commercial engagements, are incompatible with the responsibilities and decorum associated with royal titles. He argues that retaining these titles allows them to capitalize on their royal status while simultaneously challenging the institution, creating a conflict of interest that warrants the revocation of their titles. Historian Dr. Tessa Dunlop counters that stripping the Sussexes of their titles would be an excessively punitive measure that could further damage the monarchy's image. She suggests that such an action might be perceived as vindictive and could alienate younger generations who value transparency and modernity. Dunlop emphasizes the importance of adapting to contemporary societal norms while maintaining the monarchy's relevance. The revocation of royal titles is a complex process. Historically, mechanisms like the Titles Deprivation Act of 1917 were employed to strip titles from those who acted against national interests. In the current context, removing a peerage requires an act of parliament, a process that is seldom invoked and reserved for exceptional circumstances. The rarity of title revocation underscores the gravity of such actions. Implementing this measure could set a precedent affecting other members of the aristocracy and raise questions about freedom of expression and the boundaries of royal conduct. It also prompts a reevaluation of the balance between tradition and modern values within the monarchy. Fourth, 3. The media has played a pivotal role in shaping narratives around the Sussexes. Sensationalist coverage, coupled with the couple's own media engagements, has fueled a cycle of controversy. While some outlets paint Harry and Meghan as victims of an outdated institution, others depict them as opportunists seeking fame and fortune. The press's influence on public perception cannot be underestimated, as it has significantly contributed to the intensity of the debate over their titles. Social media has further amplified the divide, with passionate supporters and critics engaging in heated discussions. Hashtags like Harry and Meghan and Abolish the Monarchy frequently trend on platforms like Twitter and Instagram, reflecting the deep interest and emotions surrounding the topic. The debate over Harry and Meghan's titles is emblematic of a larger issue: the evolving role of the monarchy in modern society. As younger generations question the relevance of hereditary privilege, the royal family faces a critical juncture. The way the monarchy handles the Sussex situation could set a precedent for how it adapts to contemporary expectations. Stripping the Sussexes of their titles could be seen as a rigid, punitive response that alienates progressive royal supporters. On the other hand, allowing them to retain their titles while pursuing independent ventures might be perceived as inconsistent with royal traditions. The monarchy must strike a delicate balance between preserving its historical identity and embracing necessary reforms to maintain its relevance. Other European royal families have handled similar situations with varying approaches. In Sweden, King Carl XVI Gustaf removed royal titles from some of his grandchildren to streamline the monarchy. In contrast, Denmark's Queen Margrethe II made a controversial decision to strip her grandchildren of their princely titles, sparking public backlash. The British monarchy may look to these examples when considering its own path forward. The debate over whether Prince Harry and Meghan Markle should be stripped of their royal titles is far from settled. While Tom Bower argues that their public actions make their titles untenable, Tessa Dunlop counters that revoking their titles would be unnecessarily punitive and damaging to the monarchy's image. Ultimately, the decision rests with King Charles III and Parliament, should they choose to intervene. However, any action taken will have significant consequences, not only for the Sussexes, but for the monarchy's standing in a rapidly changing world. As the royal family navigates these challenges, one thing remains clear: the future of the monarchy depends on its ability to evolve while maintaining the delicate balance between tradition and modernity. Whether Harry and Meghan keep their titles or not, their impact on the royal institution and the public discourse surrounding it will be felt for years to come.